fishing buddies back here at Port Canaveral with the cruise ships, and we're going to attempt to go at about 20 miles and find a spot that I've located, never fished it, but I've located on Google Maps, and it looks like some interesting topography. And so I got the coordinates. I'm going to punch them in and we're going to kind of shoot around there. Again, I'm saying hopefully, because the wave reports are calling for 2 to 3s, and sometimes 2 to 3s mean 3 to 4, sometimes 2 to 3s mean 2s. So we're going to attempt to go out there. We're going to see how far we can go and hopefully catch some dinner. Let's get fishing. Fishing with Jacqueline today. She's attempting to put in the GPS stuff. We've got some live shrimp that we're going with today for bait. I do have some squid. Let's see, are they happy? Oh, they're jumping. Got lots of fishing poles. Got the trolling motor. It's going to help if it's a little rough out there. Got all the rods set up. We brought the big cooler today with some ice. Be a little optimistic. Let's get going.
So many people looking out.
First baits I dropped down, they got eaten as soon as it hit the bottom, but they were able to steal the bait. So I'm thinking there might be some grunts down there. So we're sending 2 down, hooked them a little bit differently this time. We'll see what we get. So again, didn't even really hit the bottom. I could feel them catching, biting as soon as it hit. Ooh, they got sharked. That's what a shark looks like if you don't reel fast enough. So I'm gonna lose this. There we go, it's gone. We have Jacqueline here today, and this is her first drop. See if she fares a little bit better than me. If we catch a grunt, we know what we're going to do with it. We're going to put on one of the big rods and we're going to catch that shark. Then reel it in. Alright, good. Alright, there's our bait. So we're sending down that grunt. We have the big rod here. Hopefully catch that shark right away. Stop him from menacing us all day long. We are racing the sharks today. I assume it's just another little small tomtate, aka grunt of some sort. We won't stay here long if that's all we're catching. But we will keep him as bait. Jacqueline thinks he's got one on too.
That feels really light.
They're pretty small.
I do. Is that a lane?
That is a mangrove snapper.
Oh, mangrove?
It's a little too small, but that's a...
Nowhere near the mangrove.
No. So I guess right here we'll just call him gray snapper. Ooh, this one feels better. This might be my trigger fish right here. If I can get it up before the sharks get at it. Definitely not a grunt. It's a rod bender. Ooh. This is exactly what we want.
What is it? Oh, wow. Is that like a mangrove?
That is a mangrove, yes. That's beautiful.
That is huge. Oh my God.
That's what we're looking at for dinner. Sure. That's a beauty. Actually, want to give me the pliers first? Let's see. Yeah, that's a 16-inch, 15-inch. Beauty of a fish. Feel like a grunt to feel better.
What?
Feel like a grunt to feel like something better.
I think it's a small one. Another tomtate.
Another little tomtate. Again, we're keeping a couple of these, use them for bait. Oh, it's got to be a shark. Oh, it was a shark. Feels better than a grunt?
What?
Feels better than a grunt?
If it is a ground, he's putting on a pretty good fight. Oh, I think it's a snapper.
Oh, good. Pretty one though.
That's unfortunate. See, it never works when I use the pliers.
Sure it does. Just another grunt. Grunt on grunt bait. Across your line. Ooh,
Oh, wow.
pork fish. Huge one. Huge porker. Oh, that might be the biggest pork fish I've ever caught. You can't keep these. Very pretty fish though. And we're back at the homestead, and we have one lonely fish that we're going to fillet here. Jacqueline's red snapper was about the same length as this, but probably twice as fat. But they're not in season, that's why we didn't keep that one. This right here is a gray snapper, even though it does kind of look almost orangey red. That's just because once they kind of go into rigor mortis or whatever, their diet of shrimp and crustaceans kind of what give them that color. So we're going to fillet him, and we're going to make some fish tacos with this. What we're going to do is we're going to start up by the head here, and we're just going to feel for where it's hard, goes to soft, and that's where we're going to make our first incision. Is right up by the back of the head. All right, so what we're going to do is they have a backbone right along here. So we're just going to insert just a teeny bit. We're going to just run the tip of the knife, only about 1 inch or so in, along the backbone, all the way down the tail. Get as much of that meat as possible. Once we do that, we're going to make a cut. You have a pectoral fin right here, and you have the head, and we're just going to make a cut right about there in the pectoral fin. Now, the reason why we're not cutting down here is because that's where the stomach and all the guts are, and we don't want that. So what we're going to do is we take our thumb, we're going to peel back the meat, we're just going to scrape along the backbone, and pulling with your thumb, pulling the fillet away from the bones. And I pretty much do it more like a scraping type of pattern. You can almost like hear the knife going against like the backbone and the things. When I get down to a certain point, I take the knife kind of halfway between, and I push it through to the tail side. And then I lift the knife edge up, and I'm pressing down on the backbone on the other side and cutting backwards towards the tail. And then I curve the knife up to cut away from the tail. And then they have a rib cage right about here that you want to kind of scrape along the rib cage, and you'll get to a point where there's really no more meat of the fish to be had. You can kind of see it's just turned white there. So that's where I'm going to make the cut. And so as you can see, all the meat's been taken off. I might have left a teeny, no, that's really not meat there, but that's how you want it to look to get the most amount of meat in your fillet. Do the same thing with the other side. Again, pressing down around its head, trying to find that soft spot. I stop and start again. Now, sometimes you can keep the skin on. Like if I was going to grill this, I would just stick this down on top of the tin foil and cook it on the grill with the skin facing down. But we're going to make a ceviche kind of fish tacos with this, so I don't want the skin on. So I take the knife and I put it in an angle. The skin's really tough, so you don't have to worry really about cutting through it. But what I'm going to do is just hold on to the skin with the tips of my fingers and let the knife do the work for you. Again, you're not going to have it straight across, you're going to have it slightly angled down. And you remove the skin. That way it's skinless, and that's all you're left with it. So I'm going to do the same thing with this side, but before I do, they have what they call pin bones right in here. And you can almost see this red line right through there. That's where the pin bones lie. So just a little bit on this side of that red line, and then a little bit on this side of the red line. And that fish is now deboned. That's where the pin bones are. So I'm going to cut this up into tiny little chunks. And I'll blot them down with a paper towel first. And I'll take out any pieces that don't look quite right. And then we're going to make the ceviche out of this, and we'll take you to the next step as soon as I'm done cleaning this up. So stay tuned. So we filleted those fish and we diced them up into, like I'd probably say, just about the size of your fingertip. Maybe like a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch bite size. And the reason why we do these bite size is that we can fit quite a few of them in a taco, or if we want to use like nachos, like those scoops, then we can scoop them up. So what we did is we took the fish, we diced it up, we put it in with 5 limes and 3 lemons in juice, and it's fermenting in there, or cooking, however you want to kind of use it. And then we added some red onion, some mangoes, some mini cucumbers. We're slicing up some cilantro and dicing that up, and we're going to stick that in, and then we're going to add some black pepper, some garlic salt, and some Creole seasoning, and just a couple of dashes of Frank's hot sauce. Now you can just serve these on regular tortillas, but to take it next level, you stick them in a pan, you put a little bit of butter on them, and then you dust them with some cumin, and the results, it gives it a little bit of crispness, a little bit more flavor, and the end product looks like that. And this is next level fish tacos. Once you get one side done, gotta flip it over to the other side. Alright, so we give ourselves a nice helping of the ceviche. Gonna toss on a little bit of ches. Some chunky salsa. And there's your fish taco. Port Canaveral style. Let's see how this is. But you know it's gonna be great.